I'm Alexander Surya Gianni, born June 5th, 1984. It's August 13th, 9:03 a.m. from Teresa Gianni's womb. And Houston, Texas. I'm at 415 Straight Lane, 77024 as usual. Just chilling. Mole on the right hand, little penguin duck birthmark. Like I've said before, numerous times, too many times to count, this technology I speak of is not the type of technology you find on Google. You can't just look it up and be like, oh, well, then it's not on Google, it doesn't exist. Ask yourself, how much experimental technology are you aware of? How much experimental technology are you aware of that you can't find on Google? Once you realize there's a lot of technology, experimental tech you're not aware of that's not on Google, you'll realize how much technology is out there that you may not be aware of. And you'll realize, okay, well, shit, I don't know a lot of technology that doesn't exist on Google, but I know there's technology, experimental tech, and experiments going on all over the world that you can't find on Google. That's the type of technology I'm a victim of. This is the type of technology that may not even be on the government's radar. That's how experimental it is. This type of technology is the type of technology, like I've said in the past, is the type of technology CIA guys, United Nations counterterrorism guys make encounter or stumble across during an investigation in an underground weapons manufacturing facility. That's the type of technology I'm a victim of. So you're not going to find it on Google. You may not even find it on the government. Find out, and if you're looking at government files, you may not even find it in government files. It may not even be on their radar. Could be, not sure. But this is the type of technology that CIA guys, United Nations counterterrorism guys may find during, a raid of an underground weapons manufacturing facility. So that's the type of tech we're speaking of. That's the type of tech I'm a victim of. It's covert, it's underground, it's experimental. Not a lot of people know about it. So it's not something you're going to find on Google. But I can assure you it's real. So always remember that as well. And always remember, how much experimental tech do you know about? How much experimental tech do you know about that you can find on Google? How much experimental tech do you know about that you can't find on Google? How much experimental tech have you heard about that you're aware of that have been uncovered during raids by the UN or the CIA? How much of that do you know about? Not much. So just because you can't find it on Google or just because you never heard of it doesn't necessarily mean it doesn't exist. So, and then, if you say it's not humanly possible, what do you know that's humanly possible? What do you know about physics? What do you know about the human body and the brain? How much do you know? And then once you say, well, it's not humanly possible, how much things do you know that are possible and not possible? And what's your level of expertise in education where you can say what's possible and what's not possible? Because there's things that happen every day that people didn't know were possible. It happens all the time. New inventions, new creations. For instance, ponder a computer. What do you know that's possible and not possible with a computer? List all the things that are not possible with a computer. And then start pondering why you think you have the right to say what's not possible and possible. And wonder about it, because in order to know everything that's possible and not possible in the world around you, you'd have to be a really, really, really smart guy. It's really hard to say what's possible and not possible because there's so many spheres of knowledge and there's so much so much information in the world around us. It'd be impossible for someone to know everything that's possible and not possible because there's just so much information in the world around you. I mean, you can theorize some things, but there are things that you would never be able to say if it was possible or not because your level of understanding of the world around you is minimal. You don't know everything there is to know. So always remember that. So, you may think something's not possible, but there may be things that are possible. You just aren't on that level. You're just not able to fathom what's possible and not possible because maybe your level of understanding of the world around you is not where it needs to be in order to fathom certain things. There's plenty of things that I can't fathom are possible. And I may think it's not possible, but there are probably so many things that are possible that I just wouldn't even be able to imagine because there's so much information in the world around you. And in order to understand every sphere of knowledge that exists in the world would be impossible. You could sit around, like I've said a million times, for 100 years and read every book there is to read, and you still probably wouldn't even know 50% of the knowledge that exists and information that exists in the world around us. So when you start saying what's possible and not possible, do you really know what's possible and not possible? Is your level of understanding of every sphere of knowledge in the world around you, is it optimum? Are you at 100% in every sphere? And then once you realize you're not, then you'll start wondering about what you're gonna say is possible and not possible. Because if you don't have 100% in every sphere of knowledge, you really don't have the right to say what's possible and not possible. Because you may not even be able to understand what's possible and not possible. Keep going. Praise Jesus.